Hello, this is Virgil Ricks. My wife Joy is behind the camera, and we have Jonah Kawere here from Kampala, Uganda. God has asked him to go into the slums and start a church where he not only has a church, but he lives there with his family, which includes his wife, his own 5 kids, and 44 other children that he brought into his home. And we were there last October. We've seen it with our own eyes. It's just amazing what this guy does. And it's all by faith. He has no one to help him on a monthly basis. But he feeds those kids. He's over 250 churches. He establishes crusades and much, much more. But anyway, thank you, Jonah, for coming and sharing with us. We're going to have Jonah share what it was like in his childhood and growing up in Uganda, what all he did and later on what he accomplished. But Jonah, why don't you share with us what it was like when you was a child there?
Thank you very much. I grew up in a family of 18, and my father with 6 mothers, you can imagine, and that's how we grew up. And we used to fight as mothers, as children of different parents, mothers, and some of us could hit the junior ones, and those who were bigger than us could also hit us. And that's how we really went on, and it was very good. I remember at the age of 7, I was having pain because I was born with a big umbilical cord. My cord was so big, and it was really very painful. Everyone who could touch it, I could feel a lot of pain, and I could feel like crying. And I remember by that time, because of the persecution which Idi Amin had when he declared Uganda to be a state of Islam. So during that time, the true born-again Christians were being persecuted and were hiding themselves in the Anglican church. So my father took me there, and that there was a reverend whom I have never seen again. I long to see him. He was called Reverend Kambuk. I don't know whether he died or is still alive, but this man prayed for me, and I saw fire, and instantly my pain disappeared. And in a few months, the size of the cord went down, and I was really very, very amazed. And when I gave my life to Jesus after some time, one of the things I know that Jesus is a healer. He heals. And life went on like that. And when I reached 12 years, I started using petrol, sniffing petrol, and being high. And as children of different mothers, everyone would come with a different behavior. And many of us, some others, our father was just as he brought us together. So we started using certain things, learning certain behaviors, and all that was behind the back of our father. He never knew what we were doing. And as I was, I remember one day I was puffing petrol in Mukono, seated on a hill of Sakaza. That hill is called Sakaza Hill. So as I was seated there, Jesus appears to me. It was very amazing. It was like a long green, papyrus. That's papyrus stick, papyrus plant. It was too long, and I could look up. It was, after these clouds, but I could see Jesus. And I tell you, when you see Jesus, you always know that this is Jesus. You don't need anybody to teach you. There is that connection between humanity and him. When you see him, you know that is him. When he appears to me, he puts that papyrus, plant on me, and I look up. It was like it looked like the sun in its fullness. You wouldn't dare put there another eye, but I look at him, and then I saw angels. By that time, I thought they were people, but now when I gave my life to Jesus, I realized that they were angels standing by him, and he told me, if you don't stop using petrol, you'll die. And I have a special purpose with you and with your life. And I told my brothers, I have seen Jesus. They said, take away. How can Jesus live heavens had come and appeared to you. So, because I had no one to preach to me, so I remained like that. And, we continued with our, usual ways of behavior. When we wanted to worship demons, our parents could take us and we go everywhere. And it was really very, very bad. We could go worship those demons. Sometimes they throw people in the fire. That is what was happening there, basically. And I remember when I was about to go to approach 13 years, I think it was 12 and a half, I was playing on these big trees. You see in Uganda, Mr. Ricks, you've been to Uganda, God has blessed us with trees with big branches. So as children, we went on top of those trees as typical African children, playing. I could hit you and you chase me and I jump on another branch, I catch another branch, and I was so bold and fearless that I could go on the highest peak of the tree and I could be there. And so other children feared to come there. So one day, I don't know what really happened. I was jumping from one branch to the other and somehow I missed to catch the branch. I fall down. When I fell down, it was so hard. I didn't realize what happened to me. But the only thing I could remember, I could see a big, huge man taking me out of this body. And it's amazing. My other body was remaining there, and somebody looking like me going. And he was taking me. And as he was taking me, I started feeling pain. And this pain was in my tongue, started burning. And as I was going, I hear somebody saying, "Do not take him there. I have a special purpose with him." And I come back, and he brings me back in this body. Now, what you need to know, many people don't believe that there's life after death. But I want to tell you, do not let anything deceive you. The day you die, you'll begin to realize that there's life after this life. And you'll face with the Savior. So what really happened is, when I came back, everyone was there. In Africa, when somebody dies, all the people come and they sit around and they help, they cry. They sympathize with you and they console you. And when I came back, I asked what has happened, because everyone was around me. So some women were running away saying, you were dead. and well, I couldn't do a lot because I had a lot of pain. My hand was broken. My left nose here was broken, and one of my teeth was also broken. So, and I had blood over me, and now I started feeling lots of pain in my body. So they took me to the clinic and they treated me, and then in the afternoon, they brought me back. In the evening, my father was from work. My father was a typical, tough man. He came back and he said, "This boy is stubborn." They told him everything that happened and said, "I must beat him." So he came with a stick. "Why are you naughty? Why do you pray on the sticks, on the trees?" Then my stepmother intervened, stepped in and said, "Stephen," my father was called Stephen, "don't beat this child. He has been dead. You kill him again." So that is how I was. My father didn't beat me up. Then in the morning they took me to a bigger hospital and they put a plaster on me. They worked on me. Actually, I think they put calcium on me. I couldn't understand what was really happening because I was asking doctors lots of questions. What's going to happen to me? Everything. And then after that, the doctors told my father, "Your son should not use dangerous things, dangerous chemicals like alcohol, things like that, because the way he has fallen down, it has really affected him." That is what really happened to me when I was young.
So, You mentioned that you worship demons. That was a typical thing that your family did
Yeah.
all the time. That was your
Yeah.
life. And that's the only power that you really knew.
Yeah.
And you had no one to tell you about Jesus. So when all these things happened, when he appeared to you, when you was raised from the dead, Jesus did not let you go
Yeah.
to hell, but he brought you back because he had a purpose for your life.
Yeah.
You mentioned worshiping demons. Now you said the demons would actually throw people in the fire.
Yeah, these things happen where, some people who have not been exposed to this, it will take them time to believe this. But these things happen. Demons are real. As God is real, as human beings, we are also real. Also, demons are real. So these demons could cast some people into fire, and they could be there 10 minutes without burning. And so you could imagine, the way we look, that's the only power we are exposed to.
Yeah.
So we never thought of any other power. And I was very amazed when I gave my life to Jesus. And I saw people casting out devils out of people's lives without begging them. We were used to begging demons. When they come on somebody, we told them, please, our ancestral fathers, our great fathers, what do you need? Don't kill us. And they would say, I need a God, I need this. Then we sacrifice for that. We could do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And it was really very, very hard, I'm telling you.
So Joy and I have been there, and we had the, privilege of casting devils out of some people. So witchcraft is very prevalent. It's really there. It's here in America. We don't see it near as much or deal with it as much. But anyway, we're going to come back in another segment, and we've got some great things to tell you here in the next few segments. Thank you.